Okay, I'm back again here now. I just what I did basically is I left the original fuel and oil system set up the way it was on the boat, and all I did was put it on a piece of plywood. You can see the plywood on the bottom. I used the rubber shock absorbers underneath the tank. I left them on there. I just screwed them in at the right spacing and then just put bungee cords around it for now. I'm going to eventually, like I say, mount the tank way up in the front, and of course I'll cut the snorkel down a little bit. I just left it everything right now just for my test run. I wasn't sure how it's going to run, how much it's going to porpoise and stuff like that, so I thought I'd just leave the tank the way it is right now. It's ahead of the center of gravity, just slightly, with two people on the seats, and these are $6 seats I bought from a local Salvation Army type store, and just mounted them, bolted them right on. They swivel, but they're just cheapies. I'm gonna hopefully put a pair of decent buckets in there, and then eventually I'm gonna paint it over top of the varnish that I put on it, just to give it a little bit more finished look. Same as the floor. I just got a dark stain on there now, and I'm gonna eventually paint it, but it seems to be almost ready to go. So tomorrow morning I'm gonna check all the connections one more time and get it out there and see what happens. I'm trying to give you as much of the detail as I can. Again, nothing. I didn't even so much as remove the motor from the shims or anything. I just cut the pieces. If you notice, you can through the bottom you can see the floor. I just cut around. I cut the length, and it's sitting on the floor with a beveled edge on it, trying to get it down as low as possible. I got probably a 2-degree drop all the way through, just to get the jet as low as I can. I wish I could have got it lower, but as it sits right now, it's probably slightly high, as you can see from the bottom of the boat, but we'll see when we test it out. There's no way I can make it lower, but I'll give you a little shot from the front here, or from the back. I mean, the black stuff is just a little extra overspray from the sealant, but I think it'll be low enough. I would love to have had it back about another 6 inches. It's a lot better if you can get the jet back further, but that's just the way, because I used this particular Yamaha has this enclosed piece here, and I cut it flush with the wood so that I didn't have anything more than a 1/16 inch gap, which I can easily seal with shims of wood, which I glued in and then I sprayed it over again. Yeah, everything's basically Sea-Doo. It's, you know, there's no use ripping the Sea-Doo apart, I don't think. I mean, if you can mount the whole thing the way it is. Now, I could have angled it down a little bit more by raising the motor up a little bit and got a little lower angle. But I'll show you a picture with the cowl when it's all cowled and everything, and so you'll get an idea of what I did with the cowling. Just basically, it's a box that just slides on. I'm going to put latches on it. There's the front of it there, which is not seen anyways, and then I'm going to put foam inside of it just to cut down some of the engine noise. There's my, well, I got to admit, I got $1,500 into this thing now. The boat only cost me about $300. The engine cost me $1,000, but by the time you add up all those little parts and pieces that I didn't have, it adds up pretty quick. So you're looking at a $1,500 boat. Take care now. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm back again, and this is going to be the day before the first launch. I put some temporary casters underneath it. As you can see, I just put them on a 2x4 just so I can roll it. Everything is ready to go. I've tested her out. The engine's fired up great. I haven't got the cowlings on. The cowlings are being covered right now with a leatherette material, and so I wanted to show you a picture before I cover it. Everything's cocked, everything is sealed up really well. Again, I left the engine on its original engine mounts. I left everything. I just cut the bottom fiberglass out. Fired it up a few times now just for quick little bursts. The back will be the back drive shaft part where the impeller is will be covered as well, and then the whole motor gets covered. It's a two-step cover with a removable cover. I've thrown a couple seats in it. I've got the steering mechanism all set up. Right now I've just got the fuel tank temporarily set up in here. I've ordered a long narrow one that's going to fit underneath the front, and I think I need the weight in the front because of the porpoising that's going to happen with too much weight in the back of the boat. Everything is as per the jet ski. Used everything I could on the jet ski, and so I didn't have to buy anything fancy. I even got a little wooden stop thing set up right now just so I can fire it up. My wires are running same as jet ski. Now the only thing I had to do, because the steering and the trim control had to be elongated, so what I did, as you can see here, is I cut the cables and put in some little electrical blocks on both ends, put a piece of 1/8 inch rod in there to extend it, so that I'll try to see if I can turn the steering wheel at the same time so you can see the unit running back and forth there. So that's how I extended it, rather than try to buy new cables. I just put a ready rod, little rod, or you can use a welding rod or whatever, nice and stiff, and then I put double clamps on each one just in case. This is my the fuel selector. I just took a little piece of metal that I had from a speaker grill, put the fuel selector, the green knob with a pointy arrow is my choke. My choke knob broke off, and the other one is a little vent for the crankcase vent. And I left the battery box on it. The cowling goes right over top of the battery box and everything, so you don't see it. But I wanted to keep that in there. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, the exhaust is stock. I got to knock down this rubber exhaust piece down a little bit so that the cowling will fit over top of it. And everything is been sealed, and then I put some of that black rubber coating stuff all around it, all the seals. And the key there is to make it as flush as possible so you don't have too many gaps in it. And I'd love to have had my jet stick out a little further, but that's about as far as I could get it. So I will, the next one will be the launch tomorrow.